Hello and welcome to the Fitness and Freedom Podcast. I am your host, Thomas Whitehead. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And today's episode is the truth behind staying in the best shape of your life for health, longevity, purpose, for the rest of your life. And this is something that took me, honestly, way too long to figure out. And it's something that I try and drill into my clients time after time after time. And once you discover and actually unlock this key, the results take care of themselves. And not only that, but once you get the results, you get to keep them. You get to keep them forever. So that's what today's episode is all about. This is going to be highly, highly valuable. And I want you to carefully really think about what I'm saying here and think about how you can take this forward with you into your own journey, into your own progress for your own results. As always, if you get any kind of value from the podcast whatsoever, please like, share, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. If you're listening on YouTube, just share and maybe tell someone that you care about. The more we can get our podcast out, the more lives we can help and ultimately make the world a better place. I truly believe that everyone deserves to love the way they look and love the way they feel forever. So let's dive in. Now, this, I believe, is one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to their health, their fitness. Actually, this can be applied, like most things, by the way, this can be applied to anything you do in life. I've always said before, I believe health, fitness is simply a metaphor for doing and succeeding at whatever else you want to in life. Because the way you do one thing is usually the way you do everything. So if you can build a fantastic body, my first ever business coach said to me, if you can build a body, you can build a business. And that has stuck with me forever. And one of the big mistakes, or the biggest mistakes people fall into, and the reason they're unable to actually keep their results, they might lose 20 pounds, gain 20 pounds, lose 20 pounds, gain 25 pounds, right? Lose 25 pounds, gain 30 pounds. And they essentially end up on this hamster wheel, this perpetual cycle of start, stop, the yo-yo dieting, and that can last, honestly, for years. And it keeps people stuck. It keeps people unhappy, it keeps people overweight. And it's because they haven't figured out this one thing. And as soon as that penny drops, like I said, it took me way too long to figure out for myself. But as soon as that penny drops, it's like someone turns the light switch on and you're like, holy shit, why? It's obvious. Why have I not been thinking like this for the past however many years? And I was this exact same person. I was constantly chasing outcomes. I wanted a six-pack. I wanted to look good. I wanted to look good without a t-shirt on. And I was so obsessed with the outcome that I forgot that it's the journey that is the most important thing. But the big mistake, this isn't the big mistake people make. It kind of ties into this. But the big mistake people make and why they can't sustain results is because they look at whatever they do as something that has a start and a finish date. So what I mean by that is, and you might relate to this, let's say you've got a holiday booked, or it's the start of the new year, and you say, okay, I'm going to give myself 6 weeks to achieve X. So my holiday is in August, it's June, I'm going to give myself 6 weeks to get in great shape for my holiday. So what happens is motivation levels are super high. They've got this amazing holiday booked to Greece. They know that they're going to be round the pool, having to dress down, maybe wear a bikini, get some skin on show. So that's the motivating factor there. I don't want to go to that holiday and not feel good in my own skin. Fair enough. Okay, there's no right or wrong reason for ever doing anything with your health and fitness. But here's where the mistake comes in. So you start, you're all fired up. But already, before you even begin, you're thinking about the end date. So, okay, when August comes, I'm finished, I've done, I've got in shape, I'm going to go away, I'm going to enjoy myself, I'm going to eat all the food that I deprived myself of, and it's going to be amazing. And that's the big mistake, because people in their mind think of health and fitness as a finite timeline. But the truth is, your health is one of the only things that stays with you until you die, whether you like it or not. So whether it's I'm going on holiday in 6 weeks, or I'm starting this 90-day shred, or this 8-week challenge, therein is your first mistake. If you're someone who hops from challenge to challenge and it's the new year, I'm going to, give myself January to do this, or I'm going away in 6 weeks, that's your mistake. And you're probably making that mistake every single time, because if you weren't, you would have the results that you want right now, and you would be able to keep them, or you would have kept them. And like I said, this isn't you, this is people in general with the wrong mindset going into their health and their fitness goals. A couple of years ago, I actually ran a 6-week challenge. So it was like a 6-week summer shred. And it was a gateway to get people started so that they could then carry on working with me beyond that. Because whether you like it or not, results take time. And the amount of people that signed up to the challenge was great. I think we sold out. I can't remember how many it was now. It could have been 50-ish people. But the amount of people that did the 6-week challenge and then stopped blew my mind. And that exactly summed up my point. That was the epitome of what was wrong. They did the 6-week summer shred. Some didn't even bother actually to do it. And then they got to the end and was like, thank you so much, Thomas. I enjoyed it. See you later. And 99% of those people have not continued to this day. And that was a couple of years ago. It's madness when you think about it, right? If you understand that you don't need to even focus on the outcome, you don't need a finish date on what you're doing, you don't need a diet, you don't need a workout program, you don't need a program in quotation marks, right? You just need to create better, long-lasting and healthy lifetime habits that you could do for the rest of your life. Now, sometimes you are going to have to be a little bit unsustainable in the moment for a more sustainable future. So when you're working towards a specific goal, it might require you to go to the gym more often, or it might require you to be a little bit more stricter around your food intake. That's totally normal. But if you hate doing ketogenic diet, for example, because you love carbohydrates, just like me, but you think that the 90-day keto diet is what you need, and again, looking at things like a means to an end, you're setting yourself up for failure. Instead, if you said, I'm going to control my calories, increase my protein, and actually stick with a 90-10 rule, so 90% of the foods are going to be single, whole ingredient, healthy, good quality choices. And the other 10% is going to be comfort foods. And I feel like I could do this for the next 6 to 12 months of my life pretty comfortably. Maybe not 90-10, maybe 80-20, maybe a little. I'll start 90-10 and then I'll go to 80-20 kind of as I get a little bit leaner. That is how you maintain a healthy lifestyle and healthy habits forever. And it helps you to avoid that trap of I'm starting here, I'm finishing there. Because as soon as you finish in your head, boom, you've clocked out. And that's the big mistake. Your health and fitness goals stay with you forever. So if your goal is to lose body fat, build muscle, feel good in your clothes, and you want to stay good in your clothes, you want to stay feeling good, because there's no point in doing all that work and then 6 months down the line, you're back at square one. You have to understand that when you start, you don't stop, period. That doesn't mean to say that you have to be perfect. That doesn't mean to say that you have to be 100% strict all the time. It just means that you consistently always go to the gym for the rest of your life, or you hit 3 workouts a week for the rest of your life, or you're consciously aware of the foods that you put into your mouth, for the rest of your life. You're always trying to drink 2 to 3 liters of water every day for the rest of your life. You're trying to walk 8,000 steps or more for the rest of your life. You're trying to sleep 7 hours or more for the rest of your life. The more you can understand this, that if you're going to make a start on your health and fitness goals, you better not ever stop. Because once you do stop, inevitably, you're going to end up back where you started, because the same habits, the same mindset, the same thoughts, the same behaviors, the same actions are exactly why you are where you are today. So unless you change that thought process, nothing is going to change. If nothing changes, nothing changes. That's the key. Seriously, that is something I try and tell my clients all the time. If you start working with me, look, you're probably not going to work with me for the rest of your life. However, the things you learn, the habits you build, the skills you develop, hey, that's not a 6-week thing. That's not a 6-month thing. That's not a 12-month thing. The more you can think in years and decades as opposed to weeks and months, the easier and quicker your progress becomes. And like I said at the very start, it's the journey that's the most important thing. Once you think about and care only about the journey, the destination takes care of itself. It's sorted. You don't have to think about it. You start to become the person you need to become to have the results you want to have. Think of it this way. The version of you that you want to be, fit, healthy, confident, maybe have more money, maybe better relationships, maybe a better parent, a better role model. Start asking yourself questions like, well, what do they do every single day? Where do they go every single week? What kind of habits have they developed month after month? Stop thinking about a start and an end date. When you start, there's no end date. That is the truth behind staying in shape, having great health, and living a fulfilling life of prosperous longevity forever. There's no other way. How can there be another way? How can you stay in good health any other way than continuously showing up for yourself every week? Prioritizing exercise, prioritizing nutrition, prioritizing sleep, prioritizing stress management, prioritizing positivity into your life. If you don't continuously do those things, you can't continuously keep having those results. Does that make sense? Does that actually make sense? Think about it for a second. Use it or lose it. Seriously take on board what I'm saying. And when you go into your next workout, or even if you're thinking about starting a fat loss phase, or if you're in one, just remember, you keep going, whether you like it or not. Don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep plugging away. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. That took me way too long to understand, by the way. I was constantly chasing outcomes. I was like, oh, in 6 weeks, I'm going to do this. And in 9 weeks, I'm going to finish that. Or, oh, I can't wait until X because then I can stop prioritizing all the things that I've been prioritizing. And I realized that, actually, dude, relax. You need to focus on the person you're becoming and the journey, and the outcome will take care of itself. And then you don't stop, because your health and fitness goals don't give a shit how old you are, how you feel, how much time's gone past. They'll always be with you in some way, shape or form. So keep going forever. And I know that can be overwhelming and scary, but it's not that bad. You just have to set yourself your non-negotiables, your minimum standards, and make sure that you just fall in love with trying to be that person that you want to become. That is all I have for you today. I want you to seriously take this on board. And again, one more thing is, this isn't just health and fitness. This is pretty much everything you do. You don't stop being a parent. Like, I'm never going to stop being a dad now to Hugo. You don't stop being a good partner to your wife or your husband, because when you do, the relationship breaks down. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. You always got to invest time and energy into the things that are important to you, and you keep on going. That's the beauty of life. You just keep on going. Life is cyclical. It's so harmoniously perfect, this life cycle that we live in. The earth doesn't stop. You imagine if the earth was like, I'm done now. I'm going to stop spinning. I'm going to stop rotating around the sun. I've hit my goals. It doesn't do it. And you shouldn't either. Look, if you enjoy these episodes, please like, share, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, tell someone, tell a friend, a partner, a loved one. And if you have any questions, you want to just chat to me, you can reach out to me on socials, Thomas Whitehead, Thomas J. Whitehead. You can pretty much find me on everything these days, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn as well, believe it or not. My email will be in the show notes. I hope you've had a fantastic day. Keep on going. You're doing amazing. You're probably closer than you realize to striking gold. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for listening. It really, really means the world to me. See you on the next one. Peace out. Much love.